Hello everyone, this is Ana Maria Menezes, and I'm here today to share some ideas you could use with your students using the platform Edmodo. So the link to the site is www.edmodo.com. It's a platform where you can communicate with your students, post assignments, and so on. So here I'm going to share 20 ideas. Now, if you open your main page, this is what you will see at the top. Right here in the center, you can see the place where you can send messages, the message box. Above the message box, you can see that you can send notes, you can send alerts to the whole group, or assignments as well, or create polls. Now with each message you type here in the message box, you can also attach a file, you can attach links to websites, to videos, and you can embed applications as well. Or you can grab material, links or files you have archived in your library. And just below you have the send to box where you can send messages to the whole group or to individual students or individual people. Then click send and your message will appear below the message box. So the first idea is you can use Edmodo to post homework for your students. So I've been using it with my students. I just write homework. I keep the Edmodo open in my computer in class. So at the end of the class, instead of writing the homework on the board, I go to the keyboard and I type the homework for that day. I write the date, I write what I'd like them to do. And students can also check the homework at home if they didn't come to class. The second idea is to post dates for tests and revisions. Now it's interesting to post the schedule for the following classes, especially before tests, so students know what's going on. My suggestion is that if you post dates for tests and revisions, click on the alert icon above the message box, because if you send this as an alert, then students also receive it via email. So the message will be sent to the Edmodo group and to their emails as well. You can send assignments. Now the assignment feature is you can attach videos to the assignments or images like I did here. You write what day students have the due date for the assignments, and just below for students to turn in the assignments, they just click turn in and they can send you a file, or they can type in the message box sending you the homework, sending you the assignment. You can grade it and send feedback to each individual student. Now when you send students assignments and students turn them in, you are the only person who can see their assignment. 4. Practice comments. You can write statements on the message box as a homework exercise, and then ask students to click reply and leave their comments to the statement, saying if they agree, disagree, explain their reasons. And by doing this, the whole group will be able to see each other's opinions. You can develop a discussion thread below the message you have sent to the whole group. Share interesting videos. So you can share videos related to the lessons you're teaching. You send a message to your students, send the embed code. So you click link, paste the embed code of the video you would like to share, and then ask students to use the reply area to leave their comments about the video they have watched. You can share controversial videos and ask for comments. So you can use the same idea to share videos, maybe from CNN or from other sites of important issues, things which are happening nowadays, and you would like to develop a discussion. So the same thing, you write a text, ask them to watch the video and give their opinions in the reply area, developing a discussion so students can discuss with each other in the reply area. Another idea would be to post listening dictations. What you could do, you could use a site called Voki, which allows you to create an avatar and add your own voice to it. So you can select texts which are related to the content you were teaching, record yourself at home, and then ask them to listen to the text, transcribe it, and send the text to you via email. The next idea is you can share memorization cards. Now this memorization card in special is from a site called StudyStack. So there are two sites which I recommend. One is studystack.com, and the second, you can see here at the bottom of the slide, is quizlet.com. So you use both sites to create flashcards where on one side of the card you have the word and on the other side you have the definition. So you create these flashcards to help students learn new words, or you can even create questions and answers as well. Then you grab the embed code, go to Edmodo, write your message to students, click link, paste the embed code, and you can share the flashcards in Edmodo. All students have to do is they can use the flashcards to study at home. They read the definition, think of the word, and click flip to check if they were right. For writing tasks, what you could also do with even basic learners of English, you can create simple texts using language recently learned, talking about yourself, and then you can ask students to adapt the text to themselves and talk a little bit about them using the content they have been learning in class. Then you can build a kind of a community in Edmodo, and students can learn from each other. And they also have a space to try out language. Next idea, you can share PowerPoints to help students study. You can share PowerPoints you have used in class, or you can share PowerPoints you think would be helpful to your students before tests. Now you can share PowerPoints in two ways. You can share them as files, and then students only receive a link to the file, or to appear like this, a PowerPoint slide. What you can do, I suggest two sites. You can use slideshare.com at the bottom of the screen, or slideboom.com. So both sites allow you to upload your PowerPoint presentations, and then they provide you with an embed code. With this embed code, you go to Edmodo, write the message to your group, click link, then paste the embed code, and Edmodo is going to read the code and transform it into the slide here. You can share study guides. So for a study guide like this, a colorful study guide, you can use a site called glogster.com, and you can create interactive posters. So on the poster you can add images, you can add pictures, animations, and links to videos, links to PowerPoints, and to other sites where students can study for the tests. So here, as you can see, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6 grammar exercises. You have links, so if students pass the mouse over each number, they will be taken to an online exercise to practice grammar. And then here you have vocabulary exercises as well. So there are links to vocabulary exercises, and then just below they have links to PowerPoints and videos they can use to study. You can share revision sheets. So before tests, if you have handouts, which would be useful to your students, you can share them as files like this one. These are PDF files I have shared with my students so they can print them at home. You can share a screencast with grammar explanation. So before tests, what you could do, you record yourself explaining the grammar topics again as a screencast, and then you grab the embed code and share the screencast via Edmodo. Same thing, clicking link and paste the embed code. Now, to make screencasts, I normally use Jing or Screener.com. You can use Edmodo as the main platform for communication between you and your students, and also to let students communicate with you. So here I have an example of a student who wrote a message to me in Portuguese before a test, asking me the difference between the present perfect and the present perfect and the present perfect continuous. He doesn't know the difference. So what I did, I answered in English, and then I recorded a screencast of myself explaining the grammar topic again, and I sent to the student and to the whole group in case other students had the same question. You can use Edmodo to give feedback. So after an oral assessment or written assessment, or after assignments, you can send individual messages to students, sending them a feedback. You can share it. You can use it to share interesting sites. In this case, these are sites I showed to my students in class, and then I told them I would share the links with them at the end of the class via Edmodo, so that they would be able to have access to the sites. You can also use it as a free space for students. So you can use it as a playground and tell students they're free to share songs with each other, songs in English, videos they like, sites of games they play. They could share anything which would help them practice the language they're learning. Students could also use it to talk to each other or to talk to the teacher. You can also use it for surveys and polls. In this case here, I was asking my students what kind of homework they preferred. So they can click and choose the answer. Workbook exercises, CD-ROM exercises, or activities using the internet. Okay, so I created a poll. To create a poll, you just click here on the poll icon above the message box, create the question, create the answers, and send it to the group. You can also create it, use Edmodo for a joint project. Here's an example of a project I created and I developed with a teacher from Mexico. So students from Brazil and students from Mexico belonged to the same group in Edmodo. So each week they had a homework task, and to use a certain tool and talk a little bit about themselves. So both students from Mexico and students from Brazil carried out the same tasks. So in this case, we asked them to create a little book called, using the tool called Booker, and they would have to talk about their best friend. So the book should have a cover and 6 pages. So this is an example. And finally, this is another idea. You could also use the site for Webquests. This is an example. This is a Webquest which was taken from the site, which is mentioned here at the bottom of the slide. I ask students to go to these 2 specific sites to look for the answers of the questions below. So by answering the questions, students will be able to learn about London pubs. Then, of course, you can also use the result of the Webquest to develop a discussion in class. Okay? So these are the links I mentioned, and I hope you can use Edmodo with your students as well.